Hi Roma, hope all's well with you. As promised, here's a quick video on how I build up snow and ice on my model ships and dioramas. Apologies for the quality of the video. I've just got a very old iPhone to shoot this on, so it's not going to be anything like the quality of yours. So, what do I use? Well, I use this. It's called Polyfiller in the UK. It's a household product, the kind of thing that you buy at a do-it-yourself store or a hardware shop, and it's primarily for filling in holes in damaged plasterwork. You hammer a nail into a wall, a chunk of plaster falls out, you use Polyfiller to fill the hole in with. Just smear it in with your finger, wait for it to dry, and then sand it off nice and flat, and it's all ready for painting. And that pretty much applies to the models as well. So it comes pre-mixed in a tub or a tube. There you can see it down at the bottom, and to use it, just use a piece of scrap wood or whatever. Get a nice big chunk of it out, and I tend to mix it with a little bit of water. It can get a little dry, it can be a little hard, but just use a brush to add a little bit of water to it until it's about the consistency of toothpaste, and then it's ready to go on the model. So here's our Polyfiller with a bit of water added, just so it's like toothpaste, and I've got a brush there to add it on with, and I'm going to paint some onto my little bit of scenery here. There's a packing case, and there's a few rocks which will become blocks of ice, the kind of things that build up around the bow. I use stones for those. You can buy them from hobby shops, you can get them from the garden, they work fine. Just glue them into position and they're ready to be given the treatment with the Polyfiller. So to apply, literally just paint it on like you would with anything else. I tend to do it in dabs or blobs rather than brush it straight on with objects. Make sure you've got a nice heavy amount of it onto the top where the snow and ice would build up, and just to be sure that it all looks nice and soft around the edges. Again, little bit of water just to help to round it off there. Similarly with the stones, just paint the Polyfiller onto them. Use a slightly bigger brush for doing that with. Again, put it on all over, fill up the gaps between the stones, and a little bit of water once more just to soften the effect. And if you want to have an area of ground that's got snow and ice on, again, just brush it straight on. Don't worry too much about lumps or bumps or whatever in there. It all helps to make it look quite realistic when it's dry. And again, you can always use the end of your paintbrush for putting in things like footsteps, just by pressing little indentations into the snow. Let it dry, paint it. That's how I do my snow and ice. And don't be afraid to paint it straight onto the ship as well. It works absolutely great on rigging, as well as the snowy landscape and so on that you get around the ship. It really is that simple. Just try it out and give it a go. And if you want to talk more, or you think I can help more, don't hesitate to get in touch. Good luck, Roma. Look forward to seeing you work.